Welcome to the You on the Camino de Santiago podcast. This podcast is for and about first-time pilgrims walking the pilgrimage routes in Spain, France, and Portugal. With your host, guide and longtime pilgrim, Nancy Reynolds of the Camino Experience. What is the Camino de Santiago? Do you know? There are so many different ways to answer the question, what is the Camino? Do we define it? Do we explain it? Do we talk about what it was for me? We know that the Camino is an ancient pilgrimage route, or more specifically, a collection of routes that end at the Cathedral in the Spanish city of Santiago de Compostela. And we know that millions of people have made this pilgrimage over the last 1,000+ years. But what is it? Hi, this is Nancy, and I want to explore this question some before we get to today's guest. I also want to share a bit about how I support people in making their Camino dreams a reality. The Camino de Santiago is a pilgrimage to the cathedral in the city of Santiago de Compostela, where for centuries people have believed the remains of the Apostle James were buried. While that is now subject to some scholarly debate, pilgrims have been making the pilgrimage to Santiago out of devotion to an idea that something holy is at the end. Think about that. Millions of people over more than 1,000 years have been laying down physical, emotional, and spiritual tracks as they've made this journey to the northwest part of Spain. For me, the Camino is a venue. A venue is a specific place or location where something happens. Usually, we think of a venue as a building or open space where events are held, people gather, and it happens on a specific date. But when I think of the Camino as a venue, I think of it as a whole, and I think of its many routes as places where people from all over the world come together to share an experience. We aren't all there at the same time, but someone is always there, and something is always on. For me, the Camino is an opportunity. It offers us the chance to step away from the demands of daily life, to set aside the routines and ruts we're stuck in, and to open our hearts and minds to something new, different, awe-inspiring. I see walking the Camino as an opportunity to ask ourselves who we really are and who we want to be in this one life. The Camino gives us the chance to connect to ourselves, to our God, to something greater than ourselves. That's what the Camino is and has been for me, a venue and an opportunity to explore, discover, and, transform. What is or will the Camino be for you? I ask because there isn't one answer, and I don't think there's supposed to be. When people say yes to walking the Camino, they usually begin to prepare by training and packing. The search for the right boots and the right backpack and the right rain gear begins. All very important. But what sometimes gets overlooked is what I think is perhaps the most important part of the preparation, and that is how we prepare for the inner journey of pilgrimage, the upcoming awe, the way our hearts and minds are opened. The pilgrimage to Santiago is not just a long walk, although it is that. It's also something that most likely will change your life or minimally shake things up a bit. How do we talk about that? How do we prepare for that? And possibly, most importantly, how do we bring home this incredible experience afterwards? These are all questions I've been pondering for a number of years now, and they are all questions I explore with the pilgrims who join my Camino Experience groups. From the broadest perspective, we attend to the entire arc of the Camino Experience, from getting started, preparing, and planning for both the interior and exterior journeys, and then all the way to how we bring the Camino experience home, back into our daily lives or to whatever we do next after walking the Camino. We also narrow our focus, and my Camino experience groups plan and prepare together. Some people like to do a lot of planning, while others do just enough to get to Saint-Jean-Pied-du-Port and get started. We spend time on packing and training, of course, and also on how to plan your itinerary and stages, book accommodations if that's the way you want to go, and how to get to Saint-Jean-Pied-du-Port. It doesn't take long before you can start to imagine yourself there, ready to take your first steps. Many of the pilgrims in my groups are people who initially wanted to walk the Camino solo, on their own, but they didn't want to take the giant leap and start alone. For some, they knew they could do it on their own, but their families didn't like the idea of them venturing off alone in a foreign country where they didn't speak the language. No one knows what the Camino is, really, until they get there and get a few days on the trail behind them. I just want you to know that you don't have to do that alone. I believe that your pilgrimage begins the moment you say yes to this incredible experience. Every training walk, every guidebook you read, every conversation with another pilgrim, every decision about your backpack or your itinerary becomes part of the pilgrimage itself. It's part of your Camino. I also don't think you have to wait until you get to the trail to have a Camino family. It can begin months beforehand while you're asking questions, shopping for backpacks, and sharing your excitement or nerves with people who understand exactly what you're feeling. If you're nervous about getting started on the Camino Frances, or if you're feeling overwhelmed by how much information is out there online and on social media, if you're feeling like you're drinking from a fire hose when you try to figure out how to get started, get packed and trained, and get to Saint-Jean-Pied-du-Port, I invite you to take a look at what it would mean to start your pilgrimage with me and one of my Camino experience groups. I've been helping pilgrims get started on the Camino Frances since 2013, for nearly 14 years, and I want you to know that you don't have to do this alone. You can start now to build the confidence you need to make your Camino dream a reality. If you're ready to learn more about my 2027 Camino Experience groups, I'd love to help you take that first step. Visit my website, thecaminoexperience.com/2027, where you'll find all the program details and an interest form you can fill out. The link to the website is also in the show notes, by the way, so you don't have to remember it. Once I receive your form, I'll send you everything you need to know about next steps. And now it's time to meet today's guest, Tracy. Her story is a beautiful example of the idea that the pilgrimage begins the moment you say yes. Let's meet Tracy. Tracy, hi. Thank you for joining me on the podcast today. Welcome.
Hi, Nancy. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, I'm so excited to have you here because we've been hanging out a little bit in La Terraza, the online pilgrim community for people who have already walked. So that's the first clue here. You have already walked. And it's not a getting ready conversation. It's a what have you done conversation. So I bet you have lots to talk about, yeah?
I do.
Ooh. And the other thing about this is as your story unravels, I think there will be people listening who get a new idea on how to approach setting up their Camino experience. So I think you're going to inspire some people.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you know what? It's not a big responsibility. It's not a lot of
Right?
pressure. It happens because we tell our stories. And it happens because we share what happened to us. And people see themselves and they hear themselves and they go, wait, that could be me. Yeah, so no pressure at all.
Got it,
Yeah.
Nancy.
So let's just go ahead and dive in. And we always start by putting the pin in the map. So will you share, please, what you have done on the Camino, what routes, what time frame, and how much time you spent out there?
Okay, yeah. So my Camino journey was a little different than maybe a lot of people have. I really wanted to do the Camino as a through walk. I really wanted to do the pilgrimage straight through. But my life and things that I'm committed to just did not permit me to do that. So, in talking with my husband about it and trying to figure out what I could do, I looked at splitting it into thirds, and that's what I ended up doing. So, I started in June of 2025. I went from St. Jean to Logroño, and then my second leg, I went back in October and did from Logroño to Leon. And then I just got back. I went in May of this year, 2026, and did from Leon to Santiago. Doing it into 3 different legs was the way for me to actually accomplish it. I was pretty upset I couldn't do it as a through hike. My husband made fun of me because I was actually like pouting quite a bit that
Who wouldn't?
I know. I wanted to go and do the whole thing. But then after I did it the first time, I let it sink in that I could go to Spain 3 different times in a year.
Right?
And how can you be mad about that, you know?
Exactly.
You
That's what I
know?
heard. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have so much to talk about with this. Do you mind if I ask what commitments in your life you had that prevented you from doing it all in one go?
Yeah, so I still work full time.
Okay.
So I still have a full time job. My husband's a teacher, so his hours he's at school, pretty much all day. And we do have 2 dogs that still are at home, and one of them is our senior dog. She's a little bit older, so it's really hard for her to be someone not there all day long.
Sure.
So just those life commitments was just going to prevent me from doing originally what I thought would take like 6 weeks of a trip. Actually, it's shorter than that if you do the through hike, but it just worked out better to be here at home in between each of my trips over.
Okay. And I got to say, I love that the dog is barking in the background. I just love
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Speaking of the dog,
I know. No, she's like, yeah, it's me.
yeah, yeah. Oh, she's talking about me.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. See, okay,
Uh,
we're on. We're on. What's the dog's name? Who's barking?
Presley is her name.
Presley.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
good.
have
So now
2, but
that's Presley. Got to be part of it. I love it.
yeah.
Ah, very good. And everyone now wants to know what kind of dog she is.
So Presley, she's just a mix. She's a mix of different breeds. She's 12 years old. And then I have another one who's younger, and he is a Dutch Shepherd and a Belgian Malinois mix.
Okay.
So he's
Okay.
he's my walking buddy.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. So that paints the picture for us, which is probably very similar to many people's lives, that there are things that prevent them from going away for 6 weeks. Yeah. So then you have to rethink this. So before you came up with this alternative plan, what was it that had you decide to walk the Camino in the first place? What called you to it?
That is such a hard question, Nancy. I have thought about it and thought about it, and it's one of those things like the Camino, it seems like I've always known about it. However, I only knew about the Camino Frances. I had no idea these other Caminos existed until like a little over a year ago. I'd always wanted to do it. It was always on my mind. I raised children, had life. It really seemed like this far away, far-fetched type thing to do. I went on a walk. I'm part of a women's hiking group, and I went on a hike with some ladies that I did not know, and one of them actually had hiked or walked the Camino Frances.
Okay.
So it made it real. Like here's a actual person that has done this thing that to me just seemed like in a faraway land.
Yeah.
So her and I talked, and the other thing was we backpack. And I had told her, I said, well, I'm just not sure I want to backpack for 500 miles. And that's when I found out you could do the baggage support.
There it is. Yeah.
And I was like, oh. So we talked about that, and then right after that conversation, I did some searching, and that's where I found your podcast.
Okay.
And I started listening, and I started learning more, and then it became more of a reality, like I could do this. And once I went, then I kind of figured out a little bit more of why I was there. But when I went initially, I had no idea what I was doing or why I was going or what was going to happen. I just knew it was on my list and I wanted to do it. I knew it was spiritual based. And the way it came about that I could go the first time was I had talked to my husband and said, okay, I really want to do this in 2026 or 2025. Sorry. That was in 2024. And I could not find anybody to go with me. No one. Everyone thought I was crazy.
Crazy just in general to go for this long walk.
Yes, yeah. And, I got all the jokes like, don't you know they have cabs over there? There's buses. You
Eye
don't have to
roll.
walk. Yes, yes. And I had read more about, I grew up as a Catholic, so I read
Okay.
more about the Catholicism relationship with it to the pilgrimage purpose of it and couldn't find anybody. So I finally decided, okay, I'm just going to go. I can do this. I'm fine. I'm okay traveling by myself. This is okay. And one night, really late, I had been praying about it and saying, okay, just help me make this right decision on this. And got online to my church and was looking at their mission trips. And I still to this day don't understand it. There was a mission trip for the Camino.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me everything.
Yes. So I dropped my phone because,
Right? Because that's what you do.
yeah, and I I got online and I Googled Camino, like, is there another Camino?
Oh, yeah, maybe it's a fake out. Maybe it's not
Maybe
the Camino. Okay,
it's not,
gotcha.
we're not talking the same Camino.
Yeah.
And it was the same Camino, and I reached out to the preacher that was going to be leading it, and I grilled him. I'm like, is this like the Camino in Spain, the Frances? Like, how are you doing this? Are you staying in hostels? Are you staying in albergues? Like, what's your plan here? And it was the true Camino. He
Ooh.
answered it. Yeah, and he said that him and his wife had done a part of it, and they felt called that you could do it as a mission trip and spread, Jesus's word and talk to people and help to people that are having issues. And I said,
Ooh.
sign me up. Like
You're
I
right.
said,
Okay, I'm in.
I am in. And the very first day I met them, they had a slideshow and they had pictures of the Pyrenees. And I just like, yeah, I'm in.
I
I'm in.
love it.
So I really felt like I was sent these people that I had been
Hmm.
looking for
Hmm.
just to get me started.
Okay. Yeah, bit of an
Just
answered
just
prayer. Oh,
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. It
Yeah.
just reminds me that when we say yes or when it catches in our heart or in our mind, if we're open to it, the signs are going to start showing up everywhere. The way becomes clear before you're even on the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
It
agree with you.
goes so much, I believe it goes so much to our intention. When we state an intention, we commit our heart to it, then it's almost inevitable. It's going to happen. Yeah. And I want people listening who feel like, oh, my Camino will never happen, to just to hold that thought in their heart and just believe that if you are meant to walk the Camino, you will walk the Camino. And it may not look like you think it will, right? I mean, you're the
Absolutely.
perfect example. So when you were
Yeah.
talking to them about the mission trip, were they talking about a 6 week walk or what were they planning?
No, they were only planning on going to Logroño.
Okay.
That was their destination. They had broken it out. The mileage was not difficult at all. It was very low days. They even had a rest day in there because they were working with a local mission. So we
Okay.
got to go to church with a local mission group there. And so it looked a little different than, of course, my other two legs did. But it was we became the church group. That became our Camino name. Was the and it was only 5 people is what it ended up being. Only five
Okay.
people that went, and we didn't walk together. We in the evenings we stayed almost at the same places, except for a few nights we didn't stay at the same places. Um, but it was that was their goal was to get to Logroño to test it out to see how this works as a mission, and
Okay.
we we grew. We had people that we met that wanted to come for evening prayer. They wanted to do Bible study.
Oh,
We were sitting, right there in Roncesvalles out on the street, basically there doing a
yeah.
Bible study. And these were not things I was used to doing, Nancy. Like, this is not like my normal thing to do, is have a Bible study in front of a bunch of group of people.
It's a little more private, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because even though I grew up Catholic, I'm in the belong to the Christian church now, I still have my Catholic roots where it's
Sure.
more private, more,
Hmm.
routine,
Routine and
for lack of a
ritualized.
better,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And so it was different for me, but I learned so much on that. It was a huge blessing
Ah,
for them, yeah. And they got me started.
excellent. I'm a big
Hmm.
believer in getting support to get started, as you probably know. Get support to get started. It's the most daunting part of this whole thing.
It really is.
Getting to your starting point and taking your first steps. And then by the time you're in, I say Pamplona, sometimes it takes people a little bit longer. Sometimes it doesn't take them quite as long. But by the time you're a few days into it or a week into it, you're like, I got this. I don't, yeah, carry on. Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're more confident by the time
Hmm.
you hit Pamplona. You're
Yeah.
definitely confident. You know what to do and what to look for.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
you've got the basics down by then. You know what accommodations are like and what
Hmm.
it means to walk into and arrive at some place that you're staying. Because, we drive up to places. We don't walk up and go, Hi, I'm here
Uh-huh.
for a bed. And you're like, that worked. Okay. And then you know how to find food and more importantly,
Hmm.
when to find food because the Spanish hours are
Hmm.
different than what we're used to in the US. Yeah. What pilgrim has
Hmm.
not missed that train right there? And
Every day.
yeah, until you figure it out. Okay, I get it. I get it. They do intermittent fasting here. Okay. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Very cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to imagine because I can probably even guess which of the two, of the places to have a drink or have a, sit outside on the road in
Hmm.
Roncesvalles. I can guess where you were down to two places. And so I'm imagining a group of people sitting there having a spiritual discussion and other people being
Hmm.
like, "What's going on over there?
Yeah.
Can I join you?" Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. And then as we progressed along the route, we had some people that were like, "Hey, what time are you doing it tonight? Can we join you?" And it was just a very unique experience, to meet people and talk. And we've even, had people where English wasn't their first language,
Oh.
so they were right there. And
The universal language of God, huh?
yeah, yeah. And we had people that weren't necessarily into church either.
Okay.
They just thought, well, let me see what these people are doing. And it felt good, is what they said.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I think
yeah.
I think God's love feels good. I think that's part of the idea here, is what
Hmm.
I take away from that.
Yeah,
Oh, very cool. All
yeah.
right, so this mission group,
Hmm.
you had planned to go to Logroño, and that's probably, I'm guessing,
Hmm.
how you chose how far you'd go for your first trip. Yes?
That is right. Yes.
Okay. And so if you look at how this went and
Hmm.
compare it to what you expected, how did it
Hmm.
compare? Did it match up or was it just this whole new blew my mind experience?
It blew my mind. It really did. It blew my mind. It, you when you think about going over the Pyrenees and you think about the mileage that you complete each day, you have no idea that you can actually do that.
Mm,
I didn't
yeah.
have any idea that I could actually do that. I had prepped and I walk and I do things, but I didn't think, I didn't have the confidence that I could actually do that. So, day one, you cross over. We stopped in Orison, so we
Okay.
slept there, and then the second day, went on to Roncesvalles, and every single day, Nancy, I was like, I can't believe we just did this. I cannot believe we walked 15 miles or 16 miles or whatever it was for the day. So it blew me away.
Mm.
It was such an adventure because I had done research on it for so long that when I would see something, like I would just start crying because I'd be like, There's that, and you walk into Pamplona. I mean, I would never go to Spain in all my travels until I could do the Camino. So when you walk in where the running of the bulls happens and the history, you're I was just taken away. I mean,
Yeah.
every time. So even though I knew some things to look for, other things were such a surprise that
Uh-huh.
I was just blown away.
Uh,
Completely blown away.
I get
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah,
get that. Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the people part of it.
Oh, tell me
Like
more.
I had no idea that you would meet people that you would start having these super deep conversations with, and you may see them again or you may not see them again, and then later that night you think about it and you're like, I just told that person my life story and I don't even know them, you know?
Why is it that that happens on the Camino? What do you think?
I think it's the openness of people being right there in that moment with you. They're listening to you. They may have the same struggles. That happened to me several times. I might be trying to work through something in my mind, and somebody would walk up and they would be talking about that. And I would be like, do you have the same problem?
I thought it was just me. It's
I
not
thought it
just
was
me.
just me. I thought it was
Oh,
just
this is good
me.
news.
So I think it's just that you're wide open and you're so intentional in talking and listening to people.
Hmm.
And I do believe that's what we all want. We just
Yeah.
don't know it. We just don't realize it.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you in La Terraza there's a section on the liminal space of the Camino and Comunitas. Have you listened to that?
I have not, but I heard you talking about it the other day, so I was like, I've got to go find
Yeah.
that.
I think when you listen to that, either listen to the audio or read the transcript of it, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that actually
Okay.
that's what happened." Yeah, it's because so the
Yeah.
short version is when we're on the Camino is often referred to as a liminal space, which is a space where you are not who you were when you left home. You're no longer that person, but you're not yet who you are going to become as a result of the pilgrimage. And so there's this space where it's not that or not that, but we don't know what it's going to be. And everyone who's walking the Camino is in the liminal space with you. And so it creates this thing called comunitas, where a specific sort of flavor of community forms. It's
Uh-huh.
like going away. It's like if you went on a long weekend retreat and you enter into the space of the retreat and then all these things happen, conversations and lessons and learnings, and then you're not who you are going to be on Sunday night yet. And so there's this opening for people to just drop the walls and be who they are. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, and I'm going to definitely check that out
Yeah.
because what you said is who you really are. On the Camino, well, in life, in your regular life, you have all these labels on you.
Yeah.
And when you walk into somewhere or you drive up to somewhere, people are already sizing you up, right?
Yeah.
This is okay. This is what she is. This is what she is,
Yeah. I mean, did
without
you
even
drive?
knowing.
Yeah. And did you drive up in a Toyota Echo or did you drive up in a BMW? Already, I
Yeah,
know everything I need to know about
already,
you.
already.
And now you're stripped down to walking the way, and
Yeah.
everybody has to walk the same steps. Yeah. It just levels that playing field.
Yeah, and you don't talk about things that like surface things. You're talking about really deep things quickly,
Yeah.
quickly. And it just kind of took me back when that would happen. It was like, oh, okay, we're going there, and I'm doing it. Like
I'm leading the going there thing. Yeah. Oh,
I'm leading
fabulous.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Fabulous. I love that about the Camino. Just love it. And then, of course, the challenge is whoever you become as a result of walking the Camino, how do you take that person home and still be that person when you go home? Yeah. So that's what we're working on in La Terraza. Yeah, cool. Well, I have more questions for you
Okay.
about this whole three-part thing that you did.
Okay.
So
Yes.
remember, if you would, when you arrived in Logroño and you knew this is the end of part one, what was that experience like?
So that experience is a funny one for you to ask about. There was a girl that was part of the group that I had met, And we had not walked together many days at all, but that day in particular, we walked the whole way together. And when we got to Logroño, we went straight into the old town and walked right into I think it was a noon service, there in
Oh,
the Catholic church.
okay.
And her and I went in and we found us a pew there in the back, and just straight off of the Camino. And for who knows why, but I look over at her, I'm crying. I look over at her, she's crying. Cried all the way through service. And the only thing that both of us could say during that was, like, we made it. And that's what, 105 miles, something like that, from St.
No small
John
feat.
to Logroño. Yeah. And we just kept saying, we made it to Logroño. Like, we did it. We're here. And we walked into church. We walked into a service, into Mass. And the priest, he did a blessing, and he had noticed we were pilgrims. So we knew that he was speaking about us in Spanish. And he did a blessing for us. And we walked out of that service, and we had not found our hotel yet. Well, we ended up taking us a lot longer to find our hotel because our hotel was down by the bus station.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's not close.
It was not close at all. And we had some miscommunication, so we ended up having our longest walk day on the Camino that day.
The last day, and it's only because we had to walk to the hotel.
Because we had to walk to the
Which, if you're
hotel.
leaving the next day, that's convenient. But
Yeah. Yeah. So we just had that night, her and I were talking, it was just such a celebration. Like, you don't have, like, well, we didn't, and I didn't have, like, all this confidence that I could do this. Now, the people that know me were all like, "Oh, you've got this. You're going to be fine. You're going to rock this out." And me inside was like, I don't know
don't
about
know.
this.
Don't know.
And I know people get hurt, and I know things happen, and so I was like, every day it's like, okay, just don't get hurt today. Just make it to the next town. That was my goal every day. Just make it
Really
there.
good goal. Really
Yeah.
good goal.
Simple, no pressure. But
Stay vertical.
that was it. Stay vertical. Try not to cry too much. Eat. Find some place open to eat because, like you were talking about, I was not very good at that. But yeah, it was a celebration moment, and then it was sad because the people we had met, they were going on.
Oh, would you talk a little bit more about that?
That was that was just heartbreaking for me because
Okay.
you meet these people. We've been walking with them for almost 2 weeks, and had to say goodbye and think, I may not see them again, but they were
Yeah.
such an important part of my journey, and stayed in contact with them, of course, but all the different personalities, all the different things they had, and then they were sad. A couple of them were sad because we were a support system for each other.
Sure.
So now they had to find other people, and that was hard. And that's where I
Yeah.
started pouting again. I was like messaging, like, do I really need to come home?
Can't we work this out? Oh,
Can we do adjustment here?
yeah.
So it was all those emotions all in one day.
Okay. Okay. Wow, that's a lot. And then, so the next day, then you had to leave?
The next day we walked around the town a little bit, and then we got on the bus and train over to to Madrid, and then we spent overnight in Madrid, and then headed out the next morning from Madrid.
Okay. How was your homecoming the first time?
It was hard.
Okay.
It was hard because we had spent this whole time being very spiritual, very in tune with everything going around myself. I had used this opportunity. I did not know this was going to happen when I got there, but I used it to really get in touch with some grief that I had been going through,
Okay.
some past decisions, life decisions, criticism of myself. There was a lot of things that had happened to me while I was there. Well, when I came home, I didn't even think about that none of these people realize what I had been through
Yeah.
and where I was at because they were still at the same spot.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
And there was no outlet for it. You're kind of like, okay, how do I process this? And I was following my new friends, my new Camino friends, making sure they were getting where they need to get, but you can't really tell them
Yeah.
because they don't get it.
That's it, because they're not at the end yet. So they
No.
haven't made that transition. They haven't hit that wall, if you will. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. We need a
Yeah.
support group for people who leave in the middle. I mean, I really think we need that because I've had
Yeah.
people, a couple pilgrims in my groups who have had to go home early. And how do you process that when you don't know people who are in the same position? Oof,
Yeah. It was
there's
very
a need.
difficult.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was very difficult. And then, trying to bring the Camino home, you're thinking,
Yeah.
okay, what does that mean? How do I do that? And people aren't receptive to me sitting here wanting to have a deep conversation in Kroger, in the grocery store.
Well, it's their loss, but I mean, I get
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
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 Maybe you need to go to the canned goods aisle. I mean, it probably wouldn't work in the bakery section, but you just got to go to the right part of the store.
Maybe that's the secret. Yeah. But I did find myself because I walk at our local state park, but normally I just walk. Like I'm there to get my walk in, and then I'm getting in my car and I'm leaving. But when I came back, I did find myself when I would pass people, like, "Well, hey, how are you today? You know, are you enjoying your walk?" Things like that. Not invasive, but I felt like, and that's not my normal personality to want to do that either. It's like, let's walk, let's get home. I got things to
Right.
do.
Yeah, that's a walk. Get it started,
Let's
get it
walk.
done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that I do when I come back from the Camino and I go for walks and I can't help myself is I will look at people, big smile, and think Buen Camino. Yeah, even though I
Yes.
don't say it out loud because they'd be like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, okay. Although I live in California, so we have a lot of
Mhm.
Spanish speakers who would understand, but they'd be context, not sure I'm with you. So yeah, yeah. So, but just to look at them and smile and think it, hey,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you do. You want to keep spreading it
yeah,
because it's
yeah.
joyful. It's very joyful.
It is. It is. I think
Hmm.
what it does is it brings us to our authentic selves.
Yeah, my mom called it on my second leg. She called it finding your inner child.
Where you're skipping along the trail, that inner child.
I was skipping. I was doing things that were not me at all.
Oh, are you
I was having a
sure?
ball.
Are
Well,
you
they
sure?
are. They
I
are
think it
me.
might be you. I'm picturing 5-year-old Tracy out there going, la la la, let's skip through the
That's what she
poppies.
said. That's exactly what she said. And I had a lot of fun, in one section. I can't remember the name of that town, but it's where the all the what are they called? The bodegas are in the
Uh-huh.
hillside.
Uh-huh.
The,
Moratinos, maybe?
that's it,
Yeah.
Martino's, and there's a path to go up on top.
Uh-huh.
And up on top, there was one blue chair up on top of that hill,
Of course there
and
was.
and it's still there because I saw somebody's pictures last week, and I was like up there having the time of my life. I was like all by myself, and the sun was coming up, and I was like up there playing, and that's when she was like, "You are definitely acting like your young self."
I
I'm like, "Well,
love
I'm
it.
glad I found her."
Right? Welcome back. Yeah, I remember you. Oh,
Yes.
fabulous. Okay, so let's talk now about your second stage.
Hmm.
So you're an experienced pilgrim. You laugh, but you are. You kind of you now
Yeah.
know how it works, but that could be a blessing and a curse. So what was it like to go back?
So to go back was just pure excitement to get over there. Pure excitement. The only thing that I had thought about when I was going over was I want to meet people. And I want to meet people quickly. I
Okay.
don't, I really wanted that bond with people. And I had planned 2 weeks to go back for 2 weeks. And I knew based on the first leg that I could walk more in a day and longer, and I didn't need that rest day.
Okay.
So I had planned it out where I could make it to Leon. And so I got over there. Everything, was just the reverse of what I had just done. So that was wonderful. And I had taken notes, so I knew when I went back I'd be okay. I did ask to see if anybody would go with me, and nobody would.
Still no takers. What
Still
is
no
going
takers.
on?
No takers. So I got over there and I stayed really close to the trail because my friend and I had walked so far that we were already almost outside of Logroño when her and I got to the hotel that day. So that was a bonus. And when I got out and I started on the trail early in the morning, I'm an early morning person,
Okay.
only in Spain, not in my regular America life,
Your
only in Spain.
5-year-old. Your 5-year-old
My
is an early morning
5-year-old likes
person.
to get up early. I don't know what's wrong
Gotta
with her.
play, 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 play.
She is not very smart. So I started early, and I had read about coming through Leon, which I read about quite a bit, like where people talk about it was like it's industrial or it's not pretty or whatever. When you leave early, you don't see any of that, so it's all great.
Some parts we want to be in the dark.
Yeah, yeah, you're great. And Nancy, I hit that Camino trail, and probably within 10 minutes, I met a lady, and we hit it off, and we're still friends to this day.
Love
We
it.
walked the entire day together. So my first day back was just remarkable, and we had some really good conversations. She was going on, she was, had stronger legs and things like that. But we ended up meeting up different spots out of chance, right? And after that, I met so many great people on that section. That was by far my favorite section.
Oh, other than
By
the people,
far.
what else made it your favorite?
I liked everything was golden through the Meseta. All the
October, yeah.
fields, they were all golden, and being from the Midwest, it reminded me of, farmlands, and
Sure.
it just glistened to me in the early morning when the sun came up. You could see that sunrise for miles through there. There was no mountains blocking it. And it was just I liked all the little towns. I felt like there was more towns to me that you could stop at and, see, little bars and terraces and things to hang out. The weather was perfect.
Love it.
And but I do think a lot of it has to do with the people I met that time.
Okay.
I met a great network of people, just remarkable people during that section.
Let's go back
Yeah.
to when you were getting ready to go to the
Yes.
second one. Now, we know that when you're getting ready for your first Camino, we get obsessed and we plan and we research and we read and we watch videos and we do all this stuff and we put all our kit together, then we go. What was it like to get ready for your second Camino?
So I was more prepared of what not to bring.
Okay. What did you leave out? What didn't make the second
I
cut?
left like the extra pair of clothes. I didn't take anything like that, like no pajamas, no anything like that. It was going to be strictly what you wear is what you get.
Okay, this is it.
Yeah, this is going to be bare minimum because even though I didn't carry, my larger backpack, I carried my day pack, which was quite heavy. I still only packed if I had to carry.
Okay.
So I still thought in my head, well, if I have to carry this, then it's got to be where I can carry it because
Okay.
you never know what can happen, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to be
Yeah.
able to carry my pack no matter what.
And not for nothing, but you also have to carry it through train stations or bus stations or across town to get to the train or bus
Yes.
through the airport. Yeah. So packing light
Yes.
is just a good idea.
Yes. Yeah. So I knew what not to bring, and I knew better how to organize. So
Okay.
this time, because I lose everything in my bag. So this time I was like, okay, this is all going in the black bag. I'll know this is the black bag. Um, and as far as researching, I did research still because that section I wanted to know about it.
Okay.
And I had actually listened to one of your podcasts with I'm going to say her name wrong, Bebe Barami. Is that right?
BB Barami?
Bibi Barami, her book.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had ordered that, and I didn't have that for the first one, so I had it for the second one. So I started reading that, and that really like broke down the towns for me, and
Uh-huh.
it put things that were interesting to me.
I
I
love
could
that.
really relate to it.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I downloaded it, So that was a little different for me to have that as a
Okay.
tool, that entire leg.
Wonderful. Let's make sure we do a
Mhm.
shout out for BB. It is the
Yeah.
Moon Camino de Santiago guidebook for the Frances route. And it is now in its third edition, updated, and she
Wow.
keeps making it better. Wouldn't have thought that was possible, but she did. And then she's also working on one for the Portuguese route. So I think she told me that'll be out early 2027.
Oh,
Super exciting. Yeah.
yeah, that's really good news because hopefully that will come out. 'Cause her book was just, I loved it. And I had people asking me, like, how did I know certain things?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, and I couldn't remember the name of the book, and it's Moon is the fast way to find it
Yeah.
on my phone. So I'm like, it's in the Moon book.
It's in the Moon book. The Moon is the publisher, and
Uh,
Moon is known for guidebooks. That's what they do. So what distinguishes
uh,
BB's book is that it is a proper guidebook like you'd pick up if you were traveling somewhere in the world, rather than, for example, the John Brierley book, which is still excellent, that gives you the really practical, here's how you put together a stage by stage plan. But BB gives you context.
yeah,
I'll put
she
the link
does.
for this in the show notes so people can grab that book. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna throw in another one. I'm currently reading another of BB's books, which is called The Way of the Wild Goose, which is about three of her pilgrimages. And this is where it's so much more a narrative, and she is a brilliant writer. So if you want to get really dive into some really eloquent writing about the Caminos, plural, and
Yes.
also, she's got it's context. She's got the history and the context of what you're walking through. Highly recommend that book.
Oh, I'm gonna look that one up because I did
Yeah.
enjoy her style
Yeah.
and I could really relate to it.
Wonderful.
Hmm.
Wonderful. So you still did research, still figured
Hmm.
out what is going to make this fulfilling and satisfying.
Yes.
All right. What
Yes.
was it like to finish stage two?
Oh my. So I was not prepared for when you come around that corner and you see the cathedral.
You're going to make me cry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll cry with you because
Oh,
that, I mean, it takes your breath away.
it does.
It's in all its glory. And
Hmm.
before I reached it, you're going down those little streets, and a gentleman stopped me. A Spanish gentleman stopped me, and he asked me, are you heading to the cathedral? Or had you just got here? Are you heading for the first time? And I told him yes, that I was trying to get right there, and he said a prayer for me in the middle of the street.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, I just was bawling, right? Here's this older man that stops me, and yeah. So, and he wished me well and told me, some stuff and pointed the way, and off I went. And then I come around that corner, and there's that cathedral.
There it is.
And I mean, I don't even know if there's a proper word to describe that, the way that cathedral just stands out when because you're in these little town,
Yeah.
these little streets, these shops, these restaurants, and you just turn that corner and you look, and
It's such a presence.
such a presence. And
This
yeah,
reminds me of something that I have observed over the years, and I say from time to time. The local Spanish people, especially those older generations, they know what we're doing.
yeah,
And to them, this is a highly significant journey to make the pilgrimage to the cathedral in Santiago de Compostela. So they see the pilgrims on a holy, sacred journey. It's so special to me.
so special. And all I could think of was, if this is the feeling you have when you see this cathedral in Leon, and you've been walking this many days, how will that feel when you see Santiago? Because that was just, I remember thinking, okay, if this is the only one you get to see, then this is remarkable because
Uh-huh.
and then when you go inside of it, I just,
Oh my gosh, the stained glass in
oh,
that cathedral in Leon is exquisite.
exquisite.
Uh-huh.
And I had some of those people I had met had actually got there the day before and were on their rest day. And I went and I did the tour with one of them. And when we left, we just sat right there, on the little curb right outside of that cathedral. and just caught up, on that leg of the Camino, and like I can still feel myself sitting there because
Sure.
it was so powerful.
Sure. Yeah.
And you just don't even want to go find your room. You're like, can I just sleep right here in the square?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm here.
It so makes sense to me because I go back to visit the cities on the Camino when I'm not walking, and I have such an experience of joy just being there and just walking those narrow pedestrian streets. What you said, walk around the corner, there's my cathedral. And the Leon Cathedral is my first cathedral love. Absolutely
Mm,
first. I'm in love with you. You can do no wrong. I love you
yeah,
dearly, and
yeah.
it's
Well, it's
so
a good
exquisite.
one. It's a
Yeah.
good one to love because yeah, there's no words for it.
No, no.
There's no
It's
words.
presence. It's the
Yeah.
moment, which is,
Hmm.
I believe, one of the greatest gifts of the Camino is to be able to access the moment and presence at any time. We practiced it.
Yeah, and you sit there and you watch people that come around that corner and their faces.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. Just it's an incredible spot.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And then they've got those big letters spelling out
Hmm.
Leon, right? And who
Yes.
didn't get a photo of that? I mean, it's just like that's what you do. You get that
That's
photo, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah, and what I love is those letters are big and blocky, just like the cathedral presence. Like
Yes.
we are Leon, and we are here. We are here to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
interesting in other parts along the Camino, they have big block letters with the name of the town or the
Hmm.
city, but the ones I've seen are white and they're
Yeah.
not this heavy metal presence like in Leon. It's like
Yeah.
I think I get your message here, Leon.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too, because it took them how many years to build it?
The
And there was,
cathedral, a long time.
yeah, I forgot, and there was like a small population there then when they did it, and it's
It's
like,
amazing.
whoa,
So amazing. All those cathedrals on the Camino. Yeah. But like I said, Leon's my first love.
yeah, yeah, it was my favorite.
Okay, so you said you were there thinking, what is it going to be like to walk into Santiago?
Hmm.
So let's go to your third stage now. And I'm
Yeah.
going to ask you some more questions about that third stage, but let's get right to it. What was it like to walk into Santiago?
So if you haven't caught on yet, I was crying
I didn't
about,
see that coming.
I know, right about the 10-kilometer marker. Tears the entire way into Santiago. Every time I would see 9, 8, I was like, "Oh my goodness, you got to be kidding me!" Um, it was the same that you walk down that. You're coming down that corridor there. I thought I was lost, because it's kind of a bigger city, and I thought I was lost because I've lost the markers.
Yeah.
Then I found, but because then they switched to the brass shell on the ground.
Uh-huh.
So I found that, and then I got there kind of early. It was probably about 10-ish in the morning.
Hmm.
So the crowd wasn't huge in the cathedral area. And I did not know that you're going to like walk through that tunnel. I knew there was a tunnel, but I didn't realize you walk through the tunnel, but then you actually have to turn to see it. And knew immediately when I saw the tunnel and saw markers of pictures, and you just stop. I mean, I just stopped dead in my tracks and looked up and bawling. So many tears, so many tears, and so like I was overcome with tears, with the joy being. It was joyful tears, but it was such I was so thankful, Nancy, because each time along the way I had met people that got hurt
Uh-huh.
that had to go back. We had a really bad, unfortunate passing of somebody on the second leg.
Oh,
The injuries, the people that just it wasn't for them. They were done. They
yeah.
they they had seen enough. They were done. They were leaving. So when I got there, I was so thankful because my goal every day was don't get hurt, make it to your town, and here I had made it.
Mm,
And my goal was to do it, within a year of starting. I did not want to delay it.
okay.
And to know that I actually did it. I I was just so thankful. I was like, there's no
Yeah.
way to explain how I'm standing right here, how I've done this relatively by myself,
Yeah.
except for the people you meet and the people that take care of you and help you along the way. You're never really alone. But I just was blown away. And I could, all I could do actually was I went and found me a little spot and I just parked it. I was like, I can't walk, I can't think, I can't do anything right
I'm
now.
here. Let me be here,
I'm here. I'm
whatever that
here.
means.
Yeah. And then after, however long I sat there, who knows, I saw somebody that I knew and was able to get pictures and do, the official picture of you making it. And I had met somebody along the way that had told me that they thought the Camino was what heaven was like.
Oh,
And that, I thought about that along the way because you do meet some people and things that happen on that. You're like, yeah, I get that. Once I got to Santiago, I was like, this is heaven. This is what heaven is like. You're joyful, you're happy. The people you know are yelling your names. They're running towards you. They're grabbing you, they're hugging you. Um,
you're killing me.
there's people sitting around with, I don't know where they got their cans of beer, but they had beer cans and they were cheersing in the middle of the square.
Big party. That's heaven right there.
I'm like, and I was like, this is the happiest place on earth. Like,
Oh,
how could you bottle this up? Because, and it wasn't just me. There was people sitting around everywhere by themselves, looking and watching and witnessing this magical moment in front of this cathedral. And we hadn't even made it to St. James yet. That's where we're trying to get to St. James, but here
yeah.
we're stuck in this, not stuck, that's not a right word, but we're in this moment out in front of this cathedral, and all the chatter and all the, it was just,
The
it was so
arrival.
happy.
So glorious.
It was so glorious. And it had rained on me almost every single day of the last leg. It didn't rain that day, so I was so thankful on that too. I was like,
Love
thank you,
it.
Jesus.
Love it.
So yeah, and then from there, the girls that I knew were told me I needed to go get my Compostela, and that poor lady that checked me in for that, God, God bless her. She was sweet.
What was that? What was that? Just waterworks the whole time?
Bawling the whole time, and she was so kind because she takes out my credentials, and I've got three because I've done
Uh-huh.
3 legs, and
Uh-huh.
she's asking me questions like, oh, I see you stopped at such and such. I'm like, yeah, I was there, crying. I was
Oh,
like,
I'm loving
oh my
this.
gosh. And
I'm loving this.
she brought up Lyon. She brought up the cathedral and
Uh-huh.
asked me about the cathedral. And she was like, it's beautiful, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, it's so pretty. Yeah, yeah. And she was like, and she was encouraging. And, I kept apologizing. And she was like, it's okay. She's like, it's okay. And I was like, okay. I felt so
Wow.
silly.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a moment. And then to wait for your people, that I'd met to come in, just,
To receive them the way you were received,
yes, yes,
to be
yeah.
on the other end, the welcoming end is amazing.
Yeah, and to be their guide, like, oh, okay,
Ah,
you need to go over this way. You need to do this. Just it's all connected. We're still all helping each other.
yeah.
We're looking out for each other.
So beautiful. Oh, thank you
Yeah.
for all of that. That was
Yeah.
just beautiful. If you
It's,
if you had to do it all again, let's just say you got to go back a year and a half ago, and knowing what you know now, would you have done it all in one go, or would you do it again this way?
oh, I still want to do it all in one go.
Okay.
That's on my list.
Okay.
I've already put that, like, okay, when I have the time, I still want to do it all the way through. On the Frances
Okay.
particular, I want to do that one all the way through. I don't think I would change this because I met so many great people during each part
Yeah.
that I'm afraid I wouldn't have met those same people.
Yeah. You wouldn't have, I think, just by
Yeah,
design. Yeah.
yeah, and they were such an important part of it. their role was so important for me. And still a little pouty because I still want to do it all.
I love that. I appreciate your candor. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but I loved it.
Do you feel like you missed out? Did FOMO kick in at any time while you were on the trail?
A little with the group that I met, the second group, the people that I met on that one, and then in particular a couple people that from the first group when they made it to Santiago. It was a little FOMO then,
Sure.
but they, Nancy, it was so sweet. These girls that I met on the second leg, and the first leg they sent me pictures too when they reached Santiago. But the second leg girls, they put my picture on a phone and did a selfie in Santiago, so it looked like I was with them
Oh
when
my
they got
gosh.
there, and I was just like, that was just so special to me.
Fantastic.
So when I was in Santiago, sending all those pictures out to all those people, I like had them with me,
Yeah.
and they had been messaging me and like, okay, where you at? And oh, I didn't see that, or how'd you find that kind of stuff, or don't
Yeah.
forget to do this, go get a donut here or whatever. So I think my journey, while it was different, it was extremely special.
And it sounds like it.
Yeah, it was extremely special. And
Mm.
they all knew that I was breaking it up.
Yeah.
And I actually met a girl from Ireland on the second leg that was doing the same split up.
Okay.
But she couldn't do the last leg with me. So we're still waiting
Okay.
for her to do the last leg. But yeah,
Boy, the thread that goes through all of this is just extraordinary.
yeah, it's unexplainable, right?
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah. Except anyone who's listening to this who has walked the Camino, they're just nodding their head. They're just like, yep, 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 that's what it was like. That's it right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the first time when I went back, I was worried that, because there's so many people out there that have this notion of the perfect way to do it.
Yes, that
And
is
if
true.
you
Yep.
and if you don't do X, Y, and Z, then you don't fit, right?
Hmm.
And that kind of weighed on me a little bit when
Mm.
I knew I was going back. And when people would ask, did you start in St. John? Where did you start? And the last leg was kind of fun because when people would ask me where I started, I'd be like, "Oh, I started in St. John." And they're like, "When?" And I'm like, "June of 2025." I walk
It
slow.
it just shatters the paradigm because people not only do people think there's a right way to do it, but they assume you're doing the same thing they are.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you're what? Yeah, I mess with people all the time because they're where did you start? I'm like, "Oh boy, that's a really long answer." You know?
Yeah. So that was, I think once you get over that, in your
Hmm.
head, and that's just yourself putting it on
Yes.
yourself.
Yes.
It's like, this is my journey. This is my
Yeah.
pilgrimage. This is not,
Yeah.
no one else gets to dictate it for me.
Yeah.
And I was okay, but I did work. I mean, it did cross my mind like, oh gosh, how am I going to answer this?
Yeah.
How am I going to do this? As I sneak over to my, nice casa for the night, you
Yeah.
know?
It makes me think we need to ask different questions when we're on the trail rather than how are you doing it? What is this
Yeah,
meaning to you? What's the journey about for you? And we have
that's
a
really good.
different answer when you're standing in Saint Jean Pied du Port, getting ready to get started. You could say, "Well, this is why I'm doing it," and then you get to Logroño. So why are you walking the Camino? What's this journey about for you? Well, the answer probably evolved, and then check in again in Leon, check in Santiago. We probably could just have a whole couple of hours talking about what this is about, just by looking at it from different vantage points.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
So, what
I
would you
think
say
it's a
now? What was your Camino about?
Well, the way that I looked at it, I think it started in the second leg or the first leg, I can't remember, was I broke it down into, since it was three sections for me, I broke it down into like three main categories, what each one did for me, because each
Okay.
Camino felt different.
Okay.
I was working on something different. I didn't know what I was going to be working on. It just happened. And I felt like mine was because the traditional you hear like the Pyrenees is the strength one, the Meseta is the mind, and the last one is your spiritual. But for me, the Pyrenees section and coming over those mountains and doing everything was a lot of forgiveness, a lot of working through sadness, replacing memories, making things feel better because I think because it was hard.
Hmm.
So it's like, okay, let's do the hard stuff now.
Forgiveness is hard.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
And so the first one was more the forgiveness piece for me. The second was relationships, was building relationships, learning how relationships come and go. They're there for you for the moment. They may be there for you long term. You may never see them again. And then the inner child, of course, was part of that. And then the last one was independence. Realizing and I'm an independent person, but I did not have confidence in this at all. At all. And it wasn't until I got to that end that I was like, oh, okay, I can do
Oh,
this.
I could do this. I could walk the Camino. Hello, you just did it.
I know. I'm stubborn.
Yeah, well, sometimes we're slow learners.
Yeah, yeah. So I think for me, that's what it ended up being was these three key areas of my life that I needed, and that's what it gave me.
Wonderful insights. All right, my last question for you.
Okay.
Is there anything that you would like to share about your Camino experience, but I just haven't asked the right question yet?
Oh, I. Uh, for this one is so hard, Nancy, and I knew you were going to ask it, and I've like thought about it, and it's still I struggle with it.
Yeah.
For me, for this, something I think people don't ask or don't want to talk about is what did you leave behind in Spain? What was that?
Okay.
What did you leave behind? And I think that's a really important question for people.
Yeah. How would you answer that?
Okay, so I think, well, I know, let me change that phrase there. I know that I left behind years of doubt, years of criticism, years of wrong choices, and replaced all those with strength. And not to put, everything in our lives has value, but it doesn't need to be the most important thing in your life. And I left all of that in Spain. So when
Wow.
something does creep up in my mind, because I think that's normal,
Yeah.
I get to very quickly go, nope, left that in Spain.
I even remember what town I left it in.
I do. I do. I remember what long snail walk got
Ah,
it.
exactly. Oh, yeah. That was that town. That was that interaction. That was that moment. That was that sunset. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So poignant.
Yeah.
Ah, Tracy, what a pleasure to spend time with you and hear about your journey. And I so appreciate your insights. Thank you so much.
Oh, Nancy, this is like, I can't even believe I'm doing this. I'm like, touch me.
Who are
This
you?
can't be real. Like, this cannot be really happening. I mean, I just, the things that your podcast has done, it made it real for me.
Mm,
And we've talked about this, for this little girl that grew up knowing, all this world existed. But how do you get there? How do you
yeah.
do it? Your ability to make it real
Love
was
it.
just so valuable to me, so valuable. And
Thank you for saying that. It's my pleasure. Yeah.
yeah,
I say this a lot. I can give you tips on selecting your boots, training for the Camino, where to find the best pizza and ice cream, but I would much rather talk about this stuff all day long. Much rather.
yep. But all those tips are really important, especially for new people.
Yeah. Well, and that's what people think they want, right? That's what they
Yes.
think they want. But I love this other part of it where we can set the stage for people to have the type of experience or the degree of transformation that you've encountered. I love those conversations. So
Yeah.
interesting. Great. Any final words? Any advice to people as they're planning? Maybe they don't have as much time as they'd like.
Yeah, I think if you don't have as much time, then look at how many miles you can do in a day and look at your length of time that you can be away and then just pick your towns. It's so easy. That's probably one of the things that I didn't realize. It's so easy to navigate in and out to where you want to go.
Yeah.
It is more expensive, right? Because you've got three, like for me, I had three plane flights,
Right.
right? And getting there. So you always have adjustment days. But that's just part of the process. But you can plan it any way you want because getting to those towns and it's easy. It's really easy. I mean,
It's easy. The
it really
transportation
is.
options are so good. Yeah. And again, there's no right way to do this.
There's
Just do
not.
it.
Just do it. And
Go Pilgrim.
there, there's what, 500,000 people that reach Compostela now.
Hmm.
Trust me, there's what do you think? 40%, 50% of those people are doing it different.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
not all doing it the same.
Yeah. And here's the thing that I think we miss. Even if they're doing it the same, meaning staying in same places, carrying their backpack, or using luggage transport, or this kind of shoe, or wearing shorts or not, whether it's the same, it's not the same because we are different and our internal journeys are different no matter what.
Yeah, yeah. Just do it. Just go out there and do it. That's the thing. Just say yes. Say
Just say
yes and go.
yes. Here's what I like to say: planes go to Europe every day. Get on one.
Okay, let's get that done, Nancy.
Thank you so much, Tracy. I really appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you
All
so
right.
much for having me.
My pleasure. Bye bye.
Bye.